even the houses of legislation, Parliament, both the National Assembly and the Senate, they were the ones that were attacked on that day during the protests. A lot of the shooting happened within the precincts of Parliament. The fact that they've not found it fit to even institute a probe through even the committees concerned with internal security or both in both houses, a year later, that says a lot. Why the reluctance?
Those are your hard questions, but I think on the flip side of it, we must take the president's communication very seriously as a country. And if you look at the records on human rights with the regime of President William Ruto, I think he has done extremely well, better than some of the previous regimes. You know, we had several bodies in Rivayala and in other parts of the country. We never had Kenya Human Rights Commission generate reports and avail
but Sossion, they did generate. Haki Africa generated a report.
Did they? And let's be clear. The president made a commitment, and it is part of the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza, that there will never be extrajudicial killings in the country. And when the president made a commitment that the Kenyans who may have been abducted and whoever they were abducting, that business will have to end, and it actually ended. That means the security infrastructure was activated properly to secure all Kenyans. And that should be good news to Kenyans. The president made his statement, he made a commitment, and I'm sure the security apparatus did its job. And the Kenyans who were said to have been abducted, all of them returned, we saw in full view. You guys reported.
We reported and that they had all been returned?
You reported.
What we are reporting right now is that the Kenya says there are still people who are missing.
Therefore, we'll get into that. I'll get into that. So the progress made to secure Kenyans and to stop any extrajudicial killings is commendable. The president has lived up to his commitment, and the statement that he made when with the Finnish president is not a new statement, it's the same one, and I think he's living up to it. And now the audit with Kenya Human Rights Commission, the reports that they still have, the missing persons according to their data, I don't think government is closed from any further consultations and any further engagement to ensure that really, if there are missing persons, then they should be accounted for.
Yes, and you totally...
I don't think anybody...
You totally ignored my question.
I don't think anybody sane in this country, in government and outside government, would not like to ensure that there is accountability on this.
But Sossion, you totally ignored my question. I asked you not about the president. I even asked you to ignore the president for a bit and focus on the Houses of Parliament, which were actually at the center of these protests. And that's where many people died. That a year later, none of the committees involved in security matters found it fit to even institute a probe on what happened.
And I want you to ask all the questions. If we are to ask the questions and the activities of 25th of June 2021, those were not ordinary occurrences. I've led demonstrations, and I know what demonstration means. Demonstrations and picketing is not lawlessness. It is not invasion of constitutional buildings and entities. And whatever happened on 25th of June was serious desecration of independent institutions.
Hence my question. Why haven't we instituted a probe?
We should be able to ask our own questions. What happens with the Kenya Police Service? Where were they? Why didn't they control the demonstrators so that we do not witness pulling down offenses? That's a criminal offense. Okay. Invasion,
my question.
Vandalizing property inside Parliament, inside the Supreme Court, it is not what demonstrations is all about. And therefore the question is, was there sabotage from the Kenya Police Service?
Okay.
Where were the uniformed GSU who were very common in Parliament that particular day? They were not there. No, we must, there are hard questions that we must be able to ask.
After the fact.
So that, Fred, you don't cherry pick what is emotional
I ask a question,
and what is
give me an
good
answer,
for political expediency.
I've asked a direct question.
Fred, I think Honorable Sossion is not being honest with you on your question. And I don't think your question is too difficult either to answer. The question is, Parliament represents the people. And the people went to Parliament even before that such things started occurring. And after that, 1 year later, your question is, what has Parliament done